Hello everyone, welcome to Carnivorous Plants Hub. Today I'm bringing you an update on my Click and Grow Smart Garden 9. It's been over a month since I planted my tomatoes, basil, and lettuce, and today I'm bringing you an update on just how those plants are doing, and I'm going to show you a little bit of my first harvest. You may have seen my last video unboxing and giving some first impressions plus full setup. If not, once this video is over, make sure to check it out. I'll pop it up on the screen for you. Today though, I just wanted to show you how the plants are doing and what my first harvest looks like. I'm going to go ahead and keep this really simple and just start from the very beginning. Here are all the pods set up and ready to go. This was back on January 15th. Let's go ahead and jump ahead 5 days. My first seed has germinated and it's the lettuce. So far, nothing else has really popped up. This makes sense though. According to the Click and Grow app, the lettuce would definitely be the first to germinate, usually within a week. I pulled the humidity dome off, but for future reference, I probably should have left it on for just a little bit longer. Now let's jump ahead to January 22nd, which is 7 days from the start and now just 2 days from the first sprout popping up. You can see that the lettuce has multiple seeds that have germinated and it's really starting to pop up. We still don't have any signs yet from the basil or the tomatoes. The basil should sprout in 7 to 14 days and the tomatoes are the same. We still have plenty of time for these seeds to germinate. Alright, moving ahead to January 24th. We're now 9 days from the start and 2 days since the last update. The lettuce is really starting to take off. The lettuce will actually be lonely no more, however, as the basil has decided to join the party. All 3 basil pods have now germinated and it's starting to pop up. It's a bit slower going for the basil, but it has finally shown up. The basil was not the only one who decided to make an appearance. A single tomato plant has germinated and has sprouted up as well. We now officially have representation from all 3 plants. The only seeds that are left to sprout are 2 tomato plants. We are now at January 30th. That's 15 days since we set up the Click and Grow Smart Garden 9. You can see that the lettuce is really taking off. The basil is starting to get bushier and popping up higher, and the tomatoes are the same. Much more vegetation and they're starting to grow taller. We're still down a tomato though. This is definitely getting a little bit concerning as we haven't even seen any germination or seed sprouting yet. Alright, and real quick before we get to that 21-day update, let me show you how you can get your hands on your very own Click and Grow Smart Garden. Real quick before we get back to the main video, I just wanted to mention that the Click and Grow was kind enough to offer all my viewers an exclusive 10% off code when purchasing a Click and Grow Smart Garden. If you're interested in purchasing the Smart Garden 9 or one of their other units, I have links in the description and the pinned comment. Click over to their website to find the best smart garden that suits your lifestyle. Make sure to use the code BUGEATER at checkout for 10% off. That's BUGEATER, B-U-G-E-A-T-E-R. Alright, it's now February 5th and that's 21 days since the Click and Grow 9 was set up. Everything is really starting to pop up. I really just love the variation in the shades of green. From a super bright green that the lettuce is putting off to the more dark forest green color of the basil and the tomatoes. I also really enjoy the variation in the shapes of the leaves. All 3 of these plants are very different from each other. It's really fun to see how they grow and develop. We're still down a tomato though. I'm starting to think that we might have a dud on our hands. Okay, here we go with the February 13th update. We're now just under a month or at 29 total days since we set up the Click and Grow. The lettuce is looking fantastic and is getting really close to being ready to harvest. As a matter of fact, I think if you wanted to, you could probably cut a piece off and throw it on a sandwich or something. However, I'm going to go ahead and let it grow a little bit more before I decide to harvest it. The basil and the tomatoes are both really also starting to take off and are showing a lot more of their own individual traits. It's so amazing watching these plants pop up. I'm still down a tomato though. I'm pretty convinced at this point that it's just a dud and I don't think we're going to get this seed to germinate. If you're finding this video helpful or entertaining, please make sure to pour some water on my like button and subscribe to help my channel grow. I so appreciate you being here. Liking, subscribing, commenting, and watching the video all the way to the end are ways you can really help my channel grow. I'll stop yapping now, let's go ahead and get back to the growth. It's now February 20th, we're 36 days from setting up the Click and Grow 9, and the lettuce is officially ready to harvest. The app sent me an alert with a video showing me how to harvest the lettuce. You want to cut it from the outside in, leaving the smaller leaves to continue to grow. Or the other option is you can just cut all the leaves off at once and just get ready to plant a new pod. I'm not in a huge hurry though, so I decided to trim the lettuce back and let the smaller leaves continue to grow. I'll do this until I see the stalk shoot up in the middle. The app informed me that it's called bolting. Once the stalk shoots up and your lettuce bolts, the greens become super bitter and are not great for harvesting. As soon as I see that start to pop up, I'll do my final harvest. For now though, no bolting. It's just time for me to trim some lettuce. Here's just a quick look at the lettuce post-harvest. We left the leaves on here to grow a bit before making a second and probably final harvest. Once I finished trimming the lettuce, I took it over to the kitchen. I put it in a strainer and rinsed it off in the sink for a little bit. This is probably not super necessary, but it should wash off any dirt or insects that might have clung to the lettuce. We then set it on the counter to dry for a bit before putting it in a Ziploc bag and storing it in the fridge. It should stay fresh for about a week or two. The app did inform us that the lettuce is most nutritious and has the best flavor at about the 5-week mark, which is almost exactly when we completed the first harvest. So far, everything's been really great. We do have the one pod that didn't germinate, but Click and Grow does have a guarantee and offers to replace any pods that don't sprout. I'm actually going to make a video showing that process, so it's easy for anyone that has one that doesn't sprout to understand how to complete that process. It's not shocking that the tomato didn't germinate perfectly. It's actually the wrong time of the year for tomatoes, and we keep our home fairly cool compared to most. It can get down to under 65 degrees at nighttime, which is not ideal for tomatoes. I'm really hoping that they still flower, but we'll just kind of wait and see how it goes. I think I've only watered the tank twice total, and both times it wasn't really empty yet. I just kind of topped it off. I do recommend planting the lettuce on the non-water side. The lettuce quickly overgrew the watering area, and I had to hold the lettuce back in order to put water in the tank. It's really a minor inconvenience, but for the future, I'll plant the bushier outward growing plants on the side that doesn't have the water tank. I've really done almost nothing outside of topping the water off a couple of times. It really has been an amazingly easy and fun experience. I even catch my 10-year-old over there studying the plants. The light seems to draw him in like a wandering insect. Once he's there, he just studies the plant. I can kind of hear him make remarks. The last time I heard him talking about it, he was talking about how cool it is seeing the plants grow from just the baby stages. He even asked if he could cut some of the lettuce off and wants to help pick some of the tomatoes. My 10-year-old is mostly interested in performance cars and sports. The fact that the Click and Grow has sparked his curiosity and made him genuinely interested in plants is a huge bonus and makes the Click and Grow worth every cent. I'm going to make sure and include him in picking the next set of plants to hopefully keep him wanting to be involved in the growing and harvesting. Growing our own plants and sustainability is something that seems to be getting lost on the younger generation. Anything that helps my 10-year-old put his phone down and ask questions definitely has a place in my home. So far, I'm really impressed with the Click and Grow, and I see it being a permanent part of our home. I plan on buying a couple more so we can have fresh greens and other edible plants growing around our home. I think it would be a lot of fun to have one that just had different types of greens, maybe enough to actually harvest our own salads. I'd like to have another one focused on fresh herbs and spices so they're always ready to be freshly harvested. My wife also really likes the idea of growing some flowers. She likes the way the Click and Grow looks and would love to see some fresh flowers growing inside the home. Lastly, I'd also like to put one in a warmer part of our home that's mostly focused on growing fruiting vegetables, like tomatoes and peppers. I think it'd be great to have enough herbs and veggies to make our very own salsa. Maybe that's a little too much, but hey, dreamers can dream. If you haven't watched the unboxing and setup video yet, it's popping up on the screen right now. Make sure to check it out. Make sure to like and subscribe so you can be notified when I do my next update. It should be fairly soon. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope to catch you in my next video. Bye.